All right. If we can do this show without giggling and laughing, and that was probably my stupid.
That's gonna be impossible to go and do anything with, especially with these two, without
right.
giggling and no laughing. Yeah, right.
I would have no personality at this point.
Well, we're trying to do this new introduction here.
Are we live?
Yeah, we
We
are
are
live.
on the air.
Say that.
We are live right now.
I'm Francesca. I'm from on A. I have a weed business.
Okay, so
Everyone who's
Stop
asking.
saying that.
okay, so introductions are: I'm Tori, Victoria, and you all, you all know my husband Steve. This is Steve. Say
Hola.
hi, Steve. And then
Hi, Steve.
we have our wonderful additions to our family, and that is our exchange daughters from Denmark and Germany. Say hi to Emma.
Hi.
She's the one from Denmark with her Denmark flag. And then no, it's
Sweden.
backwards. It's the other one. And then we have Lily from Germany. You know what? The one thing we didn't do before we went live, even though Lily said it like 30 freaking times. You want to turn the air conditioner off now? She kept asking you, want to turn the air conditioner off? And I'm like, what is that buzzing noise in my ear? Oh, it's, yeah.
Oh, we all know.
It is the,
That's not turn off,
Yeah,
babe.
I'm on it.
off is spelled OFF.
Ooh. You're touching me.
There you go.
Oh, God. That was high.
So anyway, so hi. So this is going to be our quick introduction video, and then we're going to talk about all sorts
Hi,
of
Dave.
different things. Hi. We're going to talk about all sorts of things that have to do with being an exchange student, a host family, how you go through all the processes and the trials and tribulations and the good, the bad, the ugly, the weird, all those different things. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. So to start with, hey girls. Hi. Nice to meet you. So introduce yourselves and why you decided to do an exchange program, Emma.
Oh, why isn't Lily starting?
Because you're the older
Because she'll
one.
laugh through the whole thing first. So
That's
we
why I think
figured
she should start.
you could break it up and then she'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm Emma. I don't really know why I did the exchange thing. I saw it. It was like an ad my mom found. And she was
Sounds like a cool thing to do for a year away from home.
No, it's actually that was a summer thing. That wasn't really a year thing.
Oh.
She found that was a summer thing. And a few weeks later, a woman came by at my school and talked about it. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. And me and my friend were really interested in it. But she was like, I'm too scared to do it. I wasn't then.
Emma's not scared of a lot. So
I went home and was like, I want to do this. And we signed up for it. And a week later, I was part of the program.
okay.
Because I got accepted really fast.
All right. Well, that's
what type of stuff did you have to do? Like you said, you got accepted. I mean, obviously there's a process. You can't just raise your hand and say, "Hey, I want to do this," and they jump in. There's got to be something, some pieces that you had to go through.
application.
Yeah, I think an interview. I went through that where she asked a couple of questions about me, and she wanted to hear me speak English. It was a Danish woman, so we talked Danish through almost the whole thing. And at one point we needed to switch to English just so she could hear what level I was on.
So speaking English was, at least for this program that you guys are on, is a very big part of the program.
No, I wouldn't say so. I know a lot of people from camp. They did not speak English at all.
Oh, okay.
It was really, really hard.
Okay.
To speak to them, to understand them too.
And did it have more based on the country that they're from? Because I noticed that a lot of the Danish speak a lot of English. And same
I
thing with
think
the
so,
ones that I
yeah.
met from Germany.
Yeah.
They've seemed to speak a lot of English. But some of the ones that are like from Spain or Taiwan,
That was really
Japan, a lot
yeah.
of them don't speak
No,
very
I
good
don't think they
English.
have English in school like
They
we
don't
do
purposely
in
do that. Yeah.
in Europe.
They don't.
I think no.
In Italy, Spain, they don't have it. Like
No.
the English teachers, some of them, they're even real English teachers.
Oh, okay. All right. So now we have Lily. Lily, introduce you. Oh, wait. I forgot. Emma, where are you from in Denmark?
I'm from Aalborg.
And that is, and for most people, explain like what part of the country, up or down.
It's up.
You're near Germany.
That's
Or-
down.
That's
Okay.
down.
I'm near Sweden.
You're near Sweden.
I'm up.
Okay. Okay. So you're at the top of.
I'm like
Yeah, Denmark is hidden here.
I'm like
Like way, yeah, right
Okay.
up, right up there, the top.
you can actually see me, kind of.
Yeah.
We call it Nordjylland.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Lily, introduce yourself and where you're from and why you chose to do the exchange program.
So obviously, I'm Lily. I'm from Germany, and the reason why I decided to do this, it was actually my best friend. She wanted to do it, and she was like, "We're gonna do this together." And I was in math class, and I texted my parents. I was like, "I'm gonna sign up for an exchange year," and they were like, "All right, you can do it, but if you want to do it, you have to do the process alone." And we just gonna sign a contract, and I didn't thought I would do it, and a week later I gave my mama a contract.
Hey mom, I'm going away for a year.
So
There you go.
your parents didn't really think you would do it.
Now, because it was a process and my best friend, she dropped out of it, and they were like, okay, Lily's definitely not gonna do it.
So they thought that if they just put the challenge in front of you and told you that you had to do the process, you had to go through all the requirements to make it happen, that you wouldn't follow through. So therefore you wouldn't do it. That kind of,
Yeah, that's true.
and then a week later you said, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Now you said that your friend actually quit. She chose not to do it.
Yeah, she was like, she like had the idea, and she brought it like closer to me of doing it. But I'm really like independent because where I'm from, you have to pick a school you go to. Like you can just not go to the nearest. And I decided for the more music preferred than the sport preferred. And my friends, they all wanted to go more to the sport preferred school, and ended up saying, I'm gonna go to the music one. They ended up going there too, but when I decided that, I didn't know that. So I usually decide for myself.
So do your friends follow you more than you follow them?
I wouldn't say that, but like I follow myself.
Now, when it came time for your parents telling you, obviously, you have to do this yourself, I'm sure that was a big part of them saying, well, you're going to be gone for a year. Excuse the dog shaking. Yeah, we have our dogs in here with us. But that was their first test for you of having to be independent and do things for yourself.
They said I should do it because like I would be like independent for 10 months. So we were like, that's a bit like use it as a practice. Like it's like a job interview you have to go to. Just practice with it, not get accepted.
So they were really hoping you weren't going to be going.
No, they were supportive, but they were just saying like, okay, cool, do it.
Now, we've talked a bit, obviously, and I know, Lily, you've traveled a little bit through Europe and that,
Yeah.
okay, and you said that for the most part, like your family, your grandfather and your dad, stuff like that, they've really always lived in the same basic area.
Yeah.
So you said that to them was a little bit of a surprise that you wanted to go so far.
Yeah, my dad got offered a scholarship exchange year here, and he didn't do it because my dad gets homesick super easily. He didn't go, and one of my dad's friend went, and it was like it was in the 80s. It was in the middle of nowhere, and they were pretty strict and all that stuff. And he would called like once a month because it was really expensive.
Yeah. In
And
the
even
80s, it was
though-
really expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have new technology. They were like, how often you gonna call? Because everyone was like, at the end, I called my dad like once every 2 weeks. And my parents were like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was something, I did a year in Okinawa, Japan, and I did it in 1988, 1989. So back then, calling back to the States was pretty intense. I mean, there was a lot to do, but nowadays I'm sure it with cell phones and being able to chat and stuff like that, I would assume it would make things a little bit better.
Yeah.
How much else travel wise have you really done?
Well, like, it's my first time leaving like Europe as a continent. Well, I've been like to Greece and I've been to England, but like never to Asia.
Okay, because I know, like you said, you've been to France.
Been to France, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Greece.
Okay, so
Turkey.
all around through Europe and stuff like that.
Well,
Well, there is a lot
Well,
of countries in
oh yeah,
Europe.
yeah, there are.
I
but
just
I'm
think
saying,
she has been to the most proper, like the places where
The
you
predominant
go
ones.
yeah,
in
the most
Europe.
popular.
When you
the
think
most
about
common.
Europe, that's the places you think of.
Yeah.
Not,
Right.
You don't think of Denmark when you think of Europe. You don't.
No,
really
and
do
I
that.
mean, just like when you think of the United States, what do you think of?
New York, LA,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Is this New York or LA?
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question. What has the experience been like for you? Let's go back though, like to the first week or two, not now, because I think you guys have acclimated a lot more. Because just so everybody knows that's watching, the girls have been here since the 29th of July.
29th of July.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been here for over a month. And I see a lot of differences now than when they first got here. And so let's go back to the first week or two. Now, your first week, Emma, excuse me, you went to a camp.
Yeah.
And then Lily, you had the 2-day orientation. So let's go back to when you got here. And then we'll talk later about the actual camp experience and orientation. But let's talk about the first week you got here, walking off the plane. How was that experience for you guys?
I don't really remember it. It was just more like you blacked out when I walked out the flight.
Very overwhelming.
Yeah, it was. It was really overwhelming.
Because I thought myself personally, I mean, I thought it was cool that all the other exchange families were there with their signs as well. Because it didn't set somebody apart. But at the same time, I thought that could be overwhelming because there's so many people there and there's all these people with signs, and one family may greet their student one way and another one another way. So it's, it puts pressure on you seeing them hugging somebody. Oh, do I have to do that? I don't know you.
I was happy there was more people.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, I was, because it made me feel like, oh, there's other exchange students like kind of near me.
And other people are going through this as well.
Because when I was at camp, I was like, oh, there's a lot of people going to Alabama, but there wasn't really any going in the area I was going in. It was more down.
Yeah.
So really, when I stepped off the plane, because I didn't know who was an exchange student and who wasn't, I got really happy that there was more than just me and Lily.
Okay.
coming off here.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause-
and the two of you first met literally on the flight because it was what, New Jersey down to Charleston, and then from Charleston to here
Yeah.
to Huntsville, and you guys were on the same plane
Yeah.
from Jersey to Charlotte, but then you actually sat next to each other from Charlotte to here. So you guys,
We kind of sat next to each other. I think the first thing was like, do you want some chips? I was like, I didn't know how to start a conversation, so I just opened my bag. We're like, do you
And I
want
was
some
like,
chips?
Oh,
Now,
I've
did
read
you
the
know that
book.
it was Lily that was? That
Yeah, I knew.
So you did know that
I
that
stalked her.
was. Oh,
Because we all know that Lily does not post on social media at
No.
all.
nope, no
So
Facebook.
It wasn't very.
No.
It wasn't hard.
you mean she doesn't post on social media at all in 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Nah, that's not true.
No, so I knew who.
In a
who you were.
minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the first week like for? What was your experience coming off the plane?
To be honest, I was not feeling overwhelmed. I was just accepting it because I didn't have the 10 days. Like in the span of these 2 days, I switched continents. I was in 6 different airports. This was my first date in the span of 2 days. I was alone on the airport for 24 hours at this point, just traveling by myself.
Mm.
Like, I was like, I'm gonna accept everything that I'm getting at this point. I just want to see a bed.
Got it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we talked about travel, but every time you traveled in the past, Lily, you've traveled with family. So this is your
Yeah.
first time by yourself. Now I know Emma has traveled quite a bit,
Yeah.
with your family and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And
So
with my school too. We
Okay.
went to Poland.
okay,
Now, so now, what was the first week like for you after you got off the plane and we came home? Like, what were you? Maybe first of all, let's talk about expectations versus what you actually got when you got here. Were you expecting anything in particular, or what were you hoping for in particular? Did you have any of those thoughts?
No, really, because my mom said, like, raise your expectations to the bottom so it only can get better. It's like, if there's something you don't like or that's not good, now that the mood drops after 2 days and you're just calling and saying you want to go home.
Right.
So,
So expect that you're living in a shack with a
the worst.
a bucket, and and hopefully it goes better than that.
Mhm.
Okay, so then what was it like when you first got here to our house?
You just go.
Oh my god, I felt very welcomed because you guys are so Tori are very outgoing persons, but I was really insecure. Like every time I was opening the fridge, I would be like, "Can I do it? Can I do it? Somebody will look and tell me I can do it." I was like always looking for eye contact, like telling me to do stuff. I wouldn't do it like on my own because like I felt like I was like in a hotel and not in a home. Never been here.
Right. How about you, Emma?
I didn't feel like that.
You didn't feel like
I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought I was gonna feel like that, like I wasn't
comfortable?
but I felt comfortable really quickly. That was the thing with my room where I wasn't really expecting
Yeah.
to share a room with somebody because I got told I didn't need to do that. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, when I found out I needed to live with Lily, we needed to like say yes that we wanted to live with another person. I read through the whole thing and it says that we did not need to share a room. If it did, I would have said no.
Right.
Because that was how big of a deal it was for me to.
Which was not translated to us.
No.
So we had no idea.
No.
And so this is a really good story actually, because so Steve and I did a lot we put a lot of work and a lot of effort into making their room nice. And then like one of the other things that we did was because I went to boarding school, so maybe that it has a difference, is I didn't want anyone to feel stand out, or like somebody got a nicer bed than the other person, or whatever. So we made sure that everything matched. They both have matching desks, and everything's brand new. So if we get an exchange student next year, they all get used shit. But everything was brand new, and we did the floors. The only thing we didn't do, and we chose not to do, was painting the walls, because I wanted you guys to kind of have a little
wide
voice in what to do. And it turns out Emma could give a shit. She's like, I don't care. You can do whatever. Just I would like them painted now.
No, that was actually no. I just want them white. If you paint them green, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, don't paint them another color.
No,
but
no, she just wants space to put pictures up.
Yeah,
but there are people that are like, I would want my room purple or pink, or I want this, or I want that. So we really worked hard on making the room as nice as we could and beautiful. And I mean, it's a very large space. They got I'd say as most exchange students go, you guys got pretty lucky in the size of your space.
We are very privileged. My neighbor, he was in Kansas, and he didn't have a door for the whole year.
He didn't have a door.
He just had a curtain, like a shower curtain.
Oh, that's kind of that,
That's hard.
and it's funny when you hear other people's experiences, because some are good, some are bad, some are uncomfortable, some are not. Space isn't always everything either. But we tried really hard to make the space really nice for them. And then Emma gets here, and it was one of the first, I would say, one of the first lessons that we had as host parents, exchange students, because if I'm not mistaken, Emma, you are afraid to say anything to us because I don't know, you didn't want to hurt our feelings, or you just didn't want to complain.
You weren't afraid.
No, I wasn't afraid.
She
it was
told
just
me on the same evening, like
I said, I think like we passed an hour, and I asked Lily if she knew that we was gonna see her room, and she was like, no, I didn't. And then I said, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not comfortable. It has nothing to do with you. I just didn't know, and I really don't want to share a room. I am going to talk to Steve and Tari about it, but not now, because I really, we were all tired. We've been traveling all day. And yeah. And I wanted to talk to my parents too.
Yeah, and see what their say was on that same topic. And then you came to us the next day, and then now
I think it was at breakfast. I think
it was
first, and I was like,
breakfast.
I need to talk to you guys about this.
Now what happened though that night before you talked to us?
Oh, I was crying.
Yeah. You were crying because
it was something that was very, very important to you.
Yeah.
So and we appreciate that, it was important, and you did want to, talk to your parents and get their opinion, their viewpoint on it. And then, we appreciated that you came to us, that next morning and said, hey, listen, this is something that really is a important piece to me, and what can we do about it?
Yeah.
And then, so luckily, because you guys have a very big space, you actually have 3 rooms downstairs. One very large room. That was kind of why we did that, because we also didn't want to separate anybody out. Now, when our friends were helping, Ziggy and Debbie, which you guys have met, and Josh, when everybody was helping, we literally talked about, well, what if they don't want to share a room? And I'm like, well, we have this other space, we can move one of them into another room. There are 3 rooms. So technically, if it was like, we both don't want to, we will, except for we would we would have to do something about a door because you'd have to share a door.
Well, no, I would have just put it through where the closet is right
That's
now.
what I was.
I would put a door
that's what-
through where that
that's-
closet is, and that would have been the door out of that other bedroom.
That's what I would have said.
that other
too.
room.
But the concern was, what if they don't want to share a room? What are you going to do then? And because we had talked about it, that's why we did so little in there, and we just put the 2 desks, because if somebody didn't want to share, whoever brought it up first basically would have the option. Why is that doing that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the way that works.
Yeah. Well, we already changed subjects, so I guess we can just keep going. So that's why we only put 2 desks in there. We didn't like put a whole lot in there because it was like, if we wanted to change something, it was easy enough to change that out. Now you have your own room with your bed and your dresser and light and stuff. Your desk is out in the bigger room. Now you don't have a door.
I don't have a door.
But technically you have a door because your door is outside and the door up the stairs. So you have 2 doors, but you don't have a door to your bedroom area. Is that
No.
something that bothers you? Because I've thought about it several
No.
times when we've gone down there. Like, should we be putting a door in there for you?
Well, not really. I just thought about it right now, like in my head. I was like, oh, I don't have a door either, but I have a little brother, and I expect people coming in at any time with any noise and anything, but I live with people, they say they're coming down, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty cool with
I
it.
don't think we've ever come down, except for when you were sleeping.
Well, Jeffro comes down.
Well,
Yeah, our dogs welcome themselves down there anytime
6
they
a.m. in the
Oh,
morning.
oh yes.
Super grateful.
Well, actually, and that actually should stop, because I will be leaving and he will be staying in with Tori instead of following me as I go to the office, because I won't be going to my office in there anymore. So you actually may get a little bit of a break from that.
So I have a question on that then. So I know Steve goes down and checks to see if you guys are up, or he calls down to see if you guys are up. Is that something that you want me to do? Because I set my alarm for 7. I don't go down. I just go over to your door. And if I see lights on and I hear movement, I don't bother you.
Well, that's actually about what I do. I mean,
Oh,
the
is it?
first
Okay.
the first little bit I would call down there.
You don't really do that
I don't
anymore.
really, no, I don't really do that anymore.
No.
I look down there, and if there's, well, most of the time,
I
I'll
answer.
I'll run into Lily and stuff like that, or I'll hear Lily as she comes up the stairs, and then I'll kind of just look to see if there's lights. Like the one day, Emma, are you up? And it's like, huh? It's like 7:20, and you're like,
It was 7:30.
it's almost 7:30.
It
Yeah,
was 7:30.
and it was like,
And we need to leave 7:40. I was like,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
But we made it. We weren't late. We were good. So
So are you girls good with sticking with that same thing where
Yeah.
I make sure you're up by listening or seeing, or do you want to hear somebody say
No,
something?
the thing is, if I'm not upstairs by 7:30, I'm not up yet. But you can't go like see if there's light, because sometimes I'm up at like 7:20. That's when I wake up and turn on the light.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
I'm awake for over an hour at this point.
Can't do that.
Emma and I are very similar on that aspect.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to get up. I have literally, Steve's come in and said, "Hey, are you getting up?" I'm like, "I have 4 minutes."
I have 4 minutes. Who the fuck?
Well, why are you in here?
No,
have
and
4
I put
minutes.
makeup on in my bed. Like I wake up, open my phone, turn on the light, like with my phone, so I love that, so I don't need to like stand up and turn the light on
You just
anymore.
say,
And I put my makeup beside my bed in the evening, so I just need to like and pull it up in my bed. And I sit there. Yeah. And I do it and I go upstairs.
No, you come over at 7:20 something and you get dressed. And sometimes you wake me up when I'm late.
Oh yeah, if she's late,
If she's not awake.
I'm the one waking up. 'Cause I
No,
need to get dressed.
the thing is, I am awake and then like I'm on my phone or I'm watching something, reading a book, and she's like, Lily, you know it's 7:20.
And it's the freak out moment.
Yeah.
So back to your first week. Your first week, we did not have school yet,
No.
but I mean, they got here on the 29th. What was it, the 30th or 31st? We went to the school to
31st.
31st. We went to the school
Yeah.
and met with the counselor
Yep.
and
Yeah.
toured the school. And then we had an open house night that night so we could meet some teachers and stuff. How was that experience for you guys compared to your school at home?
The school system is like, it's very different. Like here you you switch classes like every period. And in Germany you stick with your class and the same teacher for 3 years. And then you like switch up, but the half of the class most of the time stays with you. And that sticks for 3 years again. And you have like a main teacher who's like, that's his class and he's supposed to take care of them.
That's kind of your homeroom. Like the homeroom teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was that similar for you as far as the difference?
Oh no. We are in the same class from like 0th grade because we have something that called 0th grade, and then we go up to 1st grade. For that grade till 7th grade, we're in the same class. In 7th grade, we get mixed up, and we're there for the next 3 years. Then you can decide if you want to do the 10th grade. Make class get mixed up. I kind of did a 10-year gap year and took it over here instead. It's not going to count for anything. That's why I call it gap year. If it was going to count for something, it would be 10th grade, but it's not. So it's mostly just a gap year for me.
Okay.
Okay. And so changing classes all the time, has that been cool? Do you like being able to change the classes? Do you like being able to get up and move around and talk to people as you're going to another class, or does it feel stressful?
It doesn't feel like stressful, but like in Germany, like I sit in the same room with the same people all day. So I'm with my friends all day, and here you can have classes with all of your friends, but there can be classes with people like you don't have any contact with. So
Yeah, because the classes back home, you have contact with everybody. Like you don't not talk to
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Like it's weird here.
Well, and you
I'm gonna
build
be-
that
I don't
bond
like it.
too because you're in the same class with somebody
Yeah.
for so long. You all know
Mhm.
each other. You know, I'm sure you guys still have cliques. You still have, these people hang out with these people and,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But once you have your friends, you are with each other the whole time.
that's true.
Whereas here, it's harder to get those connections because you're only with them for 50 minutes and you're new and they don't know you. And
And you think about it, I mean, if you've been in the American system the whole time, you've got your friends, and if your friends like the same class as you like, and then you can sign up and you can be in the same class, even though you move from class to class to class, but not having known anybody, not being able to make that.
I don't think it's that easy.
Well, for us, it was easier because if you had friends and you guys all wanted to be in the same classes together, you could kind of make things work. If you guys took the same English class and took the same math class and take the same history class, you could be in 3 classes together back to back to back with a friend of yours. But for your guys, it wasn't going to be that easy. You guys
No.
couldn't make those arrangements. Like I said, as somebody that was in the American system a long time, their entire life, they would have
I
a
know,
little bit more ability.
people that have, like, it's not that easy to get the same class because there's multiple English class, there are multiple English
Mhm.
11 grade classes because every schedule needs to go up. But yeah, it is true. Kind of.
Now, when you first got to school, I know that you guys were a pretty big novelty. Like everybody was like wanting to touch the new shiny object, which was exchange students. Um, now, do you feel the same way, or are you now like getting friendships that have nothing to do with you just being the exchange student, just the new shiny toy from Denmark or the new shiny toy from Germany? Are you now starting to feel like you're getting more of friendships because they generally like you, or and that you have gotten some kind of bond with each other?
Yeah, I would say I have some people I would like consider as like good friends here, and then some people I talk to like casually. There's still some people like in the hallway. I hear sometimes people say, "Oh, Lily, you look so cute today," and I look around. I've never seen a person in my whole entire life.
But yet they know who you are.
They know who I am, and they're like, "Oh, you're this exchange student. How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Who are you?"
Hmm.
Well,
That happened
we're,
yesterday.
we're still, yeah, we're still like Denmark and Germany.
You're still the shiny new toy.
I wouldn't say shiny new toy, just
Now you're the dull toy.
yeah.
Okay, so not quite a toy, but you know what I was meaning by
Yeah.
that reference. Like everybody's excited when something is new, and then it starts to wear off. Like, okay, I know I've watched a few exchange stories from exchange students. Most of them are past. Like it was a while ago that they were exchange students, and they talked about, you know, their experiences. Now, several of the ones that I've watched on their YouTubes or whatever, a lot of them are. One girl went to Germany, and the exchange students that went to Europe first or other countries from America, their exchange programs or experiences seem to be quite a bit different from coming the other direction. The one that went to Germany that I watched quite a few of her little episodes about,
She quit.
she quit,
I saw a channel.
but she didn't really speak German. So going to another country, and this brings to a whole nother topic, going to another country, whether you're coming from Denmark, Germany, Italy, Spain to the US, or you're going from the US to another country, what do you think the experience is having such good English versus the person's experience that they may have if they don't speak very good English, or the other country, whatever they go to?
Well, personally, I have to say, like, I think it's easier to go here with a bad English than go to Germany with a bad German. Because,
Yeah.
like, here you have the. In Germany, we have 24 different words for the. Like, you can learn it in your first week. You will take months for this. I'm still confused sometimes by it, and I'm born and raised German, so you can't ask a foreigner to do it perfectly on the first try. So you should definitely speak a bit more than basic German until you go there.
Well, I think being that you've seen the same person that I'm talking about, I think that was a big part of her problem is she didn't, well, there was two things that made it really bad for her.
It was during COVID. I
And
think.
that was what I was going to say. Her experience was kind of shot in the foot right from the get-go because it was during COVID. So they had lockdowns, and I would say that that would be a horrible experience as an exchange student wanting to go to another country and experience their culture, their country, and the only thing you get to experience is your bedroom. So I would say that would not be the best experience that you could have. But going to the US in normal times or into another country, from a lot of the things that she said, also her exchange family didn't do a lot of participating with her. It from what other than her exchange sibling, it seemed like they didn't really even want to do a lot with her. So that added to it. And then there was another girl that she had a really good experience for the most part. She had a couple negative things that happened. Again, she was in Germany, but afterwards she was talking about some of the things that she would have liked her family to have done, or that they didn't do, or that they could have done. And I know one of them was they went to all of and I'm sorry, she was German and came here to the US, and they went to all of their own children's sporting games and stuff, but they didn't go to any of hers. Like they would drop her off and then go shopping, go do whatever, or go to their kids' soccer match or something. And that made her feel separated. Like, we're making a point that you're not our kids, so we're not going to be here to root for you. What is your experience with what you're going through?
In Germany, like where I'm from, it's usually like soccer and the games stuff. It's more like I'm dropping my kids off and another one is like picking them up, like we're splitting it. Well, I'm from dance, and dance, it's very competition. My friends who do it more than I do, they're away for a weekend, they have hotel, they have to book, they're away for a whole weekend, they need their mom's 27 to get them ready. It depends, but like most kids who don't do that sport, it's not their parents. And when I think of the US, I think of the supportive moms. Like I think of a Karen who sits there and is like has her poster and is like, yes, I'm watching. And I think that was a disappointment for her, because that was not what she was expecting.
Right. That's I think, and you see that at our school, the parents are quite involved. You know, the part of the stadium that is, or well, stadium field, the bleachers has a lot of parents. A lot of parents are there to support their kids playing football. We have a whole little section now that's mostly cheer moms, cheer dads. You know, we're just the group of people that are there because our kids are in cheer. So both the girls are doing cheerleading, which is something new for them, because you don't have cheerleading the same type of anything like
we
that,
don't
right?
have cheerleading, not anything close to cheerleading.
We do have cheerleading, but it's not like, we do have football, one league of football, and they have cheerleaders, but it's not like here. And the wheelchair, like that's what we're doing. You just got the extreme competition version, not like just normal school cheer. We don't have that.
Right. Now, what's that experience been like for you guys? Do you like it? Are you having fun?
Love it.
You love it? Okay.
I'll admit I was a little disappointed last night. You know, we're sitting there in the stands and they're watching, and it had been somewhere around halftime, and two girls lined up and they ran down there and they did cartwheels, and then they went back, and then four girls lined up and they ran down and did cartwheels, and our gymnast Lily never went out there and did any cartwheels. I'm like,
no, I know.
Where's the gymnast? I thought she'd be out there doing cartwheels.
They were recording a TikTok, and what I was doing, I was doing something else. I was not noticing.
I think we were eating.
We were eating fries. We had our priorities straight. But
Yeah, I would say
had to get lunch in place.
Yeah, like
Or
we
dinner.
got a free burger, or I got a free burger and gave the top of the burger to Lily.
She got the bread.
She got the bread.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We were
I have to say that was pretty funny, because Steve looks at me and he goes, "Where's Lily?
Where's she at?"
Why is Lily not doing a
Well,
cartwheel right now?"
I was tumbling earlier before the game. Where were you guys?
Yeah, hello.
I was doing walkovers. I was almost doing backflips.
Where were you at? Right
Was it
there
over
in
by the
front?
tunnel?
At
Was it over the
cheering, like,
was it over
before
by the
game
tunnel or-
starts.
Oh
It
yeah.
was over by the tunnel, yeah.
or by the
Yeah.
tunnel
Yeah.
before everything?
I
Yeah,
think-
that's on the very far side of the field from where
I
our,
think-
our
I think
bleachers are.
I could see you doing that. I could see I couldn't see who was doing what over there, but I could see you guys were all doing stuff. And I was like, I probably should walk over there and take some pictures, but no, I'm not going to.
That's
So
when I still had the energy. Like
Oh.
after the halftime, I was.
I think
depressed.
everybody's energy was gone.
Well, yesterday's
It was
game, yeah.
gone.
Yesterday's game, the
we were
energy
40-0.
at half.
What the f-
Yeah,
yeah,
That-
it,
that
yeah,
energy
it
was-
kind of hits
drains.
you,
It
drains
kind of drains
everything out of-
everybody.
because the cheering was like raw. Raw. Go
Yeah.
Clements. I mean, I was texting one of the other moms from the crowd because we usually sit by each other, but I actually sat down lower so I could get closer to take pictures. So her and I were just texting each other, and I
Who's
asked,
mom?
she's actually not one of it's a football player that she's Steven, the kickers.
The kicker's girlfriend's mom.
Yeah,
That's the one that she was texting.
that's who it is.
I need to tell him that.
So I was telling her that they needed to play the go to the gallows, hanging at the gallows song at that point because it was so bad. Like I'm like,
Like in Pirates of the Caribbean where they're all lined up and
Yeah.
they're all going to the gallows to
what-
get hung.
I don't remember.
And that,
what
do you remember that
song-
part of the movie?
I've never seen.
Oh, we're talking
that.
about a movie now. I was
Oh
like,
goodness!
Well,
Th-
because
th-
that's your
the
guys'
song.
theme for
Who's
this
that?
year is the
What's
Pirates
that?
theme.
Like Pirates what?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's just a movie. It's on Disney.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we're
We'll-
gonna have to.
I guess
watch
we're gonna have
that.
to go and-
it's a movie we haven't seen.
Okay.
Well-
Well, that-
I think I know the title track. Like
It's okay. So
Is it
during-
John?
Johnny?
Yes, it's
Depp?
Johnny
Johnny
Depp?
Depp. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
Johnny
okay.
during halftime, that's the song they
They
play at
played-
the very beginning of halftime when they do that.
Yeah,
that's
but
right when you take off to
don't.
go
We,
get
yeah,
food.
we don't see that.
No, because
Right.
you take
Yeah,
off.
you guys
but you
are
can hear the music.
We can hear it.
So that's
a
the
little
song.
bit, yeah.
And they're kind of marching towards the getting ready to get hung. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's where we're at with this game. This
Well,
game was
I'm sorry.
horrible.
The best thing, our cheers team is not that good. Football
Man,
is
they're gonna
not that
watch
good.
that.
Our band, that's good. Like our band is way better than any.
Yeah, I was.
Of the other two
that's
things.
funny when we were leaving and Steve and I got to the car before we were when we were waiting for you, the band is marching through.
They have
to
such
go-
a fancy
and they're
walkout.
playing-
We were talking about that.
Yeah, we were
Like,
talking.
We run at the beginning of the game. We run to the end of the file like some chicken.
Oh
and
my God,
then
no.
at the end of it, we leave like some trash can just thrown out, and they get the fancy walkout.
Well,
No,
and
that's
I said as the band is walking out and they're playing,
Yeah, they are.
and I said they're playing. We don't suck, you do. We don't suck, you do. And that's what I was saying to myself.
Yeah.
That band song, if you put words to it, is the football team sucks, but we don't.
I want to say something to that. When we're running, like we're faster than the football team. Some of us,
We are.
like they get to run first, and then we need to run because we need to get to the dance
Yeah.
thing. The band already start playing. Like we passed them, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and
I
we-
get why you guys are fucking losing, man.
When the
you
cheerleaders are
you
passing.
run like girls.
Well, I have to say, I told Steve, I was like, hey, Steve, did you see Emma? And he's all, no. And I said, so she started kind of closer to the back when they all start. I said, she was like the horse running through the middle of the cheer squad. Like, I am not going to be last. And
No, I hate being last.
Yeah,
I
just
never
here,
last.
Yeah,
you're-
yeah, Miss Competitive over there.
And
Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't have my phone set up already. I so should have, because your facial expression was like, I am not going to be last. And you were
The only
running
reason
with
why I was
everybody.
last time was because I was the one who was like, you need to run really slow because you need to run with the mascot so he does not fall on his head.
But
Well,
that just would have been funny if he
it's-
did.
It's
So
hilarious, like when we arrive, because we're all in its speed and it's like going down. So we fall kind of onto each other like football, but then we have to get up, and the music, the band, they can't wait. They're playing their song.
Yep.
And
We do. I
We
had
have
no
to get
idea
in,
where
and I'm
we
like-
were in the dance. I was like, wait, are we here? Okay,
Let's go.
I'm
Um,
right here.
Now-
so what has that experience been like for you guys doing cheerleading? Forget the crappy football team. I mean, they played well the first game.
But the first
And they-
the second game, they
they were really good.
actually really
They fought. Like I was
they
like,
they yeah they
They
fought.
just made a
really-
mistake
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
fought for it. There was
The
a
coach
They give-
Yeah,
made a
it was-
mistake.
yeah.
At the
At the
end,
end.
they gift wrapped
it
the
was a
winning to
team
the
that
other
they
team.
should not have done very well against, and they held their own. But then yesterday,
I'm pretty sure that was the team who was supposed to be the hardest one. The team we played against the last game.
not
West-
yesterday, but the week
West
before.
Line,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And we were supposed to win this. Like I talked to people and they're like, we're gonna win this for sure. And we lost
59-9.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing,
Lost
guys.
That was
big.
it.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't what do you call it when it's when
It wasn't a shutout.
okay, that's
Yeah. At least it wasn't a shutout. At least they scored something, so that was good.
yeah. So you were gonna ask a question, Steve. What was that?
I if you guys had a chance, because we were kind of talking about this a little bit last night at the game. Like back when I was in high school, there were flags and stuff like that, but they were not nearly as involved as the flags that are with the band. When you
Well-
guys have band, there's the
The ones that spin the,
the ones
flags.
the ones that are spinning the flags,
Yeah.
but they're also dancing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they seem to be very involved. Have you seen like with bands or anything like that back there? If you have a band in your high school, do you have like a flag line or ones that spin rifles or anything like that?
We don't have a band to my school.
well, we have a band, we have an orchestra and stuff. Orchestra is really big. They're pretty good. Like we say, our school, music based, so they're good. But like it's more like you go into a church, they're playing there. It's not like extra on a field or something.
Okay.
There's no dancers.
Okay, so you don't really have marching bands stuff like that, really. That you
No, the only time we have a marching band is like Carnival. Like
carnivals and stuff like that.
in
Okay,
Germany, Carnival is like the Super Bowl of America. Like you have to go to like the big cities like Cologne. That's like the place where you have to be when you want to experience real carnival.
okay,
Like we're
Well-
pretty big on it.
My school is just a school you go to learn and then you go home.
yeah,
Like there's no sport to it, there's no clubs to it, it's nothing.
okay.
It's just school.
All right, and what do you think? Do you like having the clubs as an additional piece of school, or do you think it's kind of like, whatever?
I like it over here. I would not like it to my school because that would be too much for me. Because school is way harder and school is way more
Yeah.
back home. I wouldn't have the time. I wouldn't have I would be too tired for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But to here, I really like it. I like it.
Yeah, I think if that was how my school in Germany was, like from the afternoon activities, I would be doing no afternoon because it's not like 95 of the subjects here, they don't exist. You have one type of English. In my school, 9th grade, you're required to have 3 languages. There's no one asking, do you maybe want to try Spanish? Just like, here, you have French, English, Latino,
Mhm.
Spanish.
You don't
pick
decide
your
what
life.
hours, what classes you want. You get the whole thing, the end.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we've been through the whole, but
like
Can't decide.
last year I had physics, I had chemistry, I had biology. That was a rough year, man.
A lot of science
We
last
have
year.
we
huh?
have that every year.
Yeah, but now I can like pick. I don't have French and physics anymore, but I'm getting like geography again. So you can like at 9th grade you can start like not taking things anymore,
can
but you will
choose-
always get something else for it.
Yeah.
So don't be
Gotcha.
too excited.
Now, as far as moving on to another subject outside of school and sports, what do you like the best about living at our house? Like, what are the things that you like the best about the house you got to be? Well, you guys got a chance to pick us as well as us picking you. Did
No.
you didn't?
No,
No.
we didn't.
You didn't get? Did
It
you read
was-
our letter?
Well,
Did they share that with you to make
we
the
can't,
decision?
we
I
can't
didn't got
really
the
say no to
letter.
you. I could say no to Lily, but not really you.
Oh, that's not what they told us.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we were told that
that
once
you guys have to
once
accept
we
us as
yeah
well.
you guys have to go
I
back
was told
I guess-
like because I said yes pretty early. I was like told like I'm gonna get someone else if Emma says no.
Okay.
Okay.
So did you did you even get to read our letter that
No,
we
they
submitted?
were like
No, we don't read
I got
anything
a
about you
phone
guys.
call, and they were like, "We have people."
I'm like, why did we write the letter if they
Wow.
don't
I
even
got it.
get to
I
read
got
the
it,
letter?
but then it was clear that it was you guys. Like I got that call, like I don't know, somewhere in June, first week, and they were like, "Okay, that's your people." I had written a 4-hour German exam, and I go down, and I'm totally done with God in the world, and like they're calling like. We have your family, like they're in Alabama. That's their name. That's what they're doing. That's where they live. That's what they like. And I'm like, oh my God, please slow down.
So
That was
the
it.
only thing that you knew about us is what you
I
Looked
knew.
up.
We got like
I
a
knew.
little.
No, I knew that you were Stephen Tori and your last name, and that's when the whole stalking
Nanny.
thing
and then
started.
and then
And
you
then the
started
stalk
stalking.
began.
And
And like we found you guys on Facebook and Instagram. We found YouTube. We like found your family. We found Grandma G and everything. And then we got the address before we got the letter and everything. So we put the address in Google Maps. In Google, we found your house. We looked at it and everything. Because you can still look the house up, like Google.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that part wasn't as surprising. Okay, so that's kind of shocking to me that like the whole point of writing a letter, like you guys wrote one to your host family of what you wanted to do, and we were able to read that. Like had to go through each kid that we looked at. We had to go through all the
Mhm.
different things and say, okay, I like this one, I like this one, and you
you
guys
guys are
didn't-
the only family we got to see. Or
Uh,
Well,
I got to see.
yeah, they were like, there are 2 people. They have your dogs. The grandma lives with them. We didn't tell you where they're at. We can tell you what they're doing if you want to know that. Like, do you want them? Yes or no?
Yeah, and also Lily, we picked Lily because we think you guys are gonna match. That was what was in the
No.
mail I got.
But we were like,
I'm like,
they
okay.
were like, we have a girl. Her name is Emma. And she was like, I think she was from Denmark. Do you want to keep her? Yes, no. Please decide. Send an email to me. That's it.
Oh wow! I really thought that you guys
Yeah, I
had
thought there
more
would've been more
information about
more
us
information that
No.
before you got
Well,
here.
When I signed up and I said yes, I want to like keep Emma because I was from the beginning. I told them pretty early, if it's possible, I want to have a double placement because the first weeks I want to have someone like to talk to, and I think it's like a great opportunity for a friendship. So I knew when I decided like on you guys, I knew that I was gonna stay here. Like that's what they told me. Like if Emma says no, you're gonna stay with them, and we're gonna tell them like where they live and the stuff,
Yeah.
even if Emma says no.
Yeah, our big thing was, we wanted to bring 2 because we don't have any kids of our own that live in the house, and didn't think that, like you said, to have somebody else here that you could more closely relate to because age wise and all that, we didn't want to go and just bring one, because we thought that, because obviously we don't live in the city. You can't just walk to a friend's house. You can't do that from where we're at. So that's why we wanted to go and bring in 2 exchange students instead of just one. Do you think that was a smart move for us in that regards?
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I think if you didn't like pick that, I think I would never got to you guys, because I was pretty determined in that point. Like, if that was possible, I wouldn't seriously thought going somewhere else, because there was something I really, really wanted from the beginning. I was even ready to share a room for it.
Oh, think you can say no.
Yeah. But like,
I think
But, like,
you could, but there's
there-
no guarantee somebody else would be
No.
available if you did. I think
Yeah.
is kind of
there were
the
like,
possibility. I don't know.
yeah, you could say no to them. Like, they said that, like, if there's something about them that's like making you feel uncomfortable, you can tell us that, but we have to guarantee you that either way you're just gonna get a welcome family. Like, you're just gonna stay them with them for a few months, and or you like go somewhere else, and that's maybe not that gonna match that much.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to find it right here, but I will look for it. We worked really hard on writing a really good letter to
I read
submit,
it.
and I was like, I'm kind of like this. This throws me back, because there was things that we
sure, I don't
put
either.
specifically in the letter so that you knew who we were and kind of what our expectations were to being host parents versus, just like we wanted the lineup to be right. Now, I know for myself, and I don't know about you, Steve, but I was really, I'm sorry, I was trying to find the letter so I could share it with you guys. I'll find it for our next show. But I was really nervous. I was really, really nervous about whether or not we would fit, whether or not we would be what you expected, whether or not you would be comfortable. I know I talk a lot. I can be obnoxious and irritating. I do a lot of projects. I like to do a lot of things, and I like people to jump in and do those things with us when we're doing them. And Steve can't sit still, and he can't sit still to watch a TV show or a movie. That's very difficult. Pretty much that means he's sitting down to watch a TV show or a movie. That means he's just going to sit there for a couple minutes and then fall asleep while it's playing.
Pretty much.
So, I was really nervous about, how it was going to be, and if they were going to like me, or if I was going to be pushed off or anything like that. And, and I'm a grown adult, so I know being nervous as an adult, I was thinking and putting myself in your shoes as, how you're going to somebody else's house
At 16.
at 16
Or-
with
and
different rules and different requirements and different things that you can't do here versus what you can do. And we're going to go into all that on another show. But my nervous level was pretty high. And, I still have things. And sometimes I look at it like, oh, have I upset them or have I done something? And then I have to tell myself, you know what? They're also just teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And teenagers don't always want to like jump in, and I'm not the type of person to ask somebody to help. I it's a bad habit. probably something I shouldn't do, where I just say, hey, we're doing this, I need help, come work with me on this, or come do this. I just don't really do that. And Steve knows it. I don't ask him. I will go and do it myself, or try to do it myself. So I mean, that was my nervous level. How was yours?
Like,
Dealing with us, new people, new parental figures,
well, I was nervous, but I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm going to another continent at the age, like, I can drive a car, I can legally sign documents or anything. I'm crazy enough to do this. I'm just gonna take it how it is. There is like my motto.
And how was it for you?
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Now, what's the best thing you've had experience wise so far?
Oh my gosh. The football games, they're really fun. Like in Germany, I'm not that into soccer, and yeah, our national soccer team, like at least the men's, they're not that good right now. So I don't watch like the World Cup or anything. And like here, like competitions in dance, they're really strict. Like I'm not gonna go into it, but like if you don't dance 10 seconds on stage, your whole group eliminated. If you take medicines, someone sees you, you can forget the season, man, because you could be taking anything. You can wear like jewelry, of course, or anything. You have like your own passport for your dancing. It's like, yeah, it's pretty strict, and it's not the vibe. Like, of course, we have like times where we like go there and just dance for fun, but that's like, it's 2 shows per year, and then it's just competitions. And here it's like, it's more fun. I like that.
Yeah, having fun is the whole purpose.
I think the best experience is school, like just how it is.
Yeah.
And how the school spirit is. Well, I am gonna say, I thought the school spirit was gonna be
Bigger. Me too.
Because like the student sections, you
Yeah.
see, like when I talk to my friends from camp and the people I know who's like also in the US and see the videos, their student section is like what?
Yeah.
That's a lot of students. It's the double of what
My friend,
they are.
she like
They
it looks
all
like they're in a whole
yeah.
stadium.
Yeah.
They're in a whole stadium.
Yeah, and
And here
depends.
is just like
and right, and Clements isn't that big of a
No.
school, so they don't have as many students in there.
Like,
You know, you go down to Texas, and that's life.
Yeah.
I mean, and there are certain places in Alabama. Of course, you've got Alabama, you got Roll Tide. That's huge when you go down. But again, we just happen to live in a smaller area where you don't have quite as many there. And
it
I don't know.
is different because I feel like 9th to 12th grade, we're maybe 200 people, and like I feel like
I think
100 of them play football.
I think
And
we're at
then-
40 juniors. That's it.
Yeah. So it's a small school.
And like 25 of them play football.
Yeah.
That's how it feels like.
I feel like most sophomores play football.
Yeah, there are a lot of sophomores.
You guys, there's a lot of sophomores. Like every other person I talk to, oh yeah, I'm 10th grade. How can
That's-
everybody just be in 10th grade?
That's really funny.
going
Like
on?
the year I'm born, 2008, it's not a boom. It was a boom year. Like in my school, you usually have like when you get in 5th grade, they have 4 different classes because they have like 20 something people. In my class, they had 6 classes with 30 people.
Yeah.
And
40?
6 class
Wow.
30. But
30,
that was
okay.
the limit. We had another school, like they were full too. Everybody was full. Nobody could make more classes. Like we were tight. Like when went to like church and get my communion, we took the whole church for one group photo, and I have a really big church where I live.
Wow.
I think the boom year in Denmark is 2007.
Yeah, it's 7-8. That's
I don't know many 8 people actually.
well, I
Well, I
think we're
don't really
talking
talk to
about the wrong 8, but I'm early 2008, so my friends are all 2007.
That's a big thing. I don't even know if I talked about that. Here in the US, like you're friends with everybody. And like you can be a senior and still be friends with a sophomore.
Yeah.
In Denmark, I'm
Mm.
sorry. I would never be friends with someone who's from 2008. We don't go with those. We don't talk to them, and we don't really talk to those who
You
are older.
snub the ones above or below.
Or
You stay
in
within your group.
Denmark, there's a line,
And you don't cross it.
and from 2007, we talk to those who are older. From 2008 and 9 and up, we just all hate those people. And it's like that in Denmark. Like we don't talk to people who's younger than us.
Younger than you.
So it was like, what? Those in Denmark, it's 8th grade. When you're in 10th grade, I'm like, why are they talking to
No.
But I like it. It's different. I really like that. It's
cool.
like
Good.
we're so,
Like you can
they're
be
so
friends
open,
with
and
the
nobody's
juniors,
judging.
and nobody's like, oh, why
Mm.
are you talking to me?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a little bit different here. That's for sure. Okay, well, I don't know, but I think that we can conclude this first.
Yep, we're
The
up on
Exchange
time.
Diaries, and then we will come every Saturday at about the same time. Now, this time
What?
we just picked a time to do it because we were testing all the equipment. We figured we're here, we might as well just do this. So we will set a schedule, and we will actually come at a scheduled time, probably about 3:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday, or 4. That way it's not too early unless we have to do something earlier. But does that time sound good to you girls?
Yeah, that's good.
Emma has a look
Emma's
on her
thinking
face
about
like,
it.
Just like, okay.
It's a Saturday. I get to sleep in. Just don't make me have to get up
Never
before noon.
You don't have to go to cross
No.
country.
I was just more thinking about a Sunday.
Oh, you want to do it on Sunday instead?
I've
That's
got-
fine.
I've
Yeah,
got no
because I
issues
think
with that.
like, yeah,
Sunday's fine too. You want to do it on about 4:00 on Sundays?
yeah.
You want to do it? Well, you got to think about, okay, we want to do a show about an hour long. We don't want to get much more than that
No.
at a time. So we need to go and plan it out.
Well, if we do it 4 to 5 on Sunday, then that leaves at 5:00 to go and get dinner ready, because dinner's at 6. Is that early, or would you rather it be at 3?
I think four in the Sunday is good.
On Sunday's good. If
That's-
that's good with everybody else,
Well, you had a look on your face like you didn't like 4:00.
no, that's fine. I got no
it's
issues
4.
with that.
So is 4:00 good for everybody? Okay, so we will be here tomorrow at 4:00 because we got to do it every week on the dot. So we will do this was our introductory show. So it's like, hey,
Oops,
this
sorry.
is introducing everybody, and what we're going to be talking about is all related to exchange, and we're actually going to review some episodes from other exchange students and like give our critiques. We're going to talk about weird things that people ask. We're going to talk about all different things, good, bad. The one thing that I'm going to clarify here that we are not going to do is if we are telling a story, possibly it might be changed a little bit to protect somebody, and we're not going to say names about anyone or where they're at if they have any kind of different experiences that we're aware of or know of. So we're not going to divulge any of that stuff, but we're going to talk about all the different parts of doing this program for a year, because we're here for a year together. And I don't know, like I said, I was very nervous at the beginning. Steve, how are you on that?
I was nervous, I wasn't sure You know, we've got a pretty full schedule for the most part, the way with everything that we do already, and adding 2 more people into the mix, and making sure that we can include them and them feel included and them want to be included in the things that we do. You know, those are a lot of things. You know, and then, you know, Lily is a vegetarian. I do most of the cooking. So that was another thing. I'm like, okay, well, I've got to make sure that I've got something, you know, planned and figured out to make sure that we have her taken care of. And then, you know, the other joke was that, you know, Emma's dad's a chef, but then she tells me when she gets here, well, it's not really him you got to worry about. It's mom's
my
cooking.
mom.
Mom is the one that cooks at home all the time, so you got to make, you know, that's where that piece is to make sure that I can make something that's acceptable for the girls, because that was important to me, you know, to make sure that, you know, they had what they needed. So that was a lot for me. So those were some of the pieces, and I figured, you know, we would be able to get the movement and transportation, get them where they needed to go. I figured we'd be able to get that worked out fairly easily. But, you know, just want to make sure that we had.
Well, I know that I, after, a week or so, I felt super comfortable. I felt like the girls were happy. I felt it appeared that the girls were comfortable with their room. We fixed the Emma problem. It appeared that the girls were happy and comfortable. They got in the fridge when they wanted to. They got their snacks when they wanted to, or whatever. And they have no problem with asking for something if they need something. And, we made some adjustments. Like I made a shopping list thing that hangs on the wall so people can put what they need for shopping on the list, that kind of thing. The one thing which is going to bug me a lot is that you guys never got to read our letter, because it really described what our
maybe I did.
expectations
Maybe
were.
I just don't remember reading
I
it.
didn't get
Well,
the
I would say it
letter.
was summer vacation. I
I-
don't even know what I did that.
Well, I knew like what you guys like did, and like, but it wasn't described. Like, they told me Tori is a designer. When you think of designer in Germany, I think of clothes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Not woodworking.
Then they told me she has a shop, and we're like, shop, like where you shop,
like a clothing store.
or does she work with wood? What does she do? And they told us, like, I forgot what Steve's job is called. But
I did.
we looked it up, and it was like with Navy and all that stuff. And we were like, my dad was like, he works with guns, and I was like, Mom was like, do you have like? They have probably a lot of guns at home, like it's a museum or something.
Well, my father read like the email I got, and he was like, I have absolutely no idea what Steve does. I did not know what you did even when I came
I
here.
still don't.
Because
We
know.
still don't know.
No, but like
He's like with the CIA or something.
Yeah, no, not CIA, but
Are
yeah.
are you into clandestine operations, Steve?
No.
Okay. Well,
well, it just wasn't that
might as well be, right?
describable. Like I didn't know what he was doing.
No,
I just knew he loved cooking.
I knew
That
it
was
was
it.
like Navy, because we obviously Googled your names, and there popped some stuff up like Team Rubicon. We found an article with you. We knew what you look like, and we found 2 Steve Albies on Facebook.
She's
And
scared
the
of
other
me.
of them is like, I don't know what he did, was like something, and we could separate them because he was CEO of something. So we were like, that is Steve, and we just stalked him.
Yeah, they did. They stalked.
And then we stalked
quite a
long
bit.
enough, and we found Tori's shop profile and everything. And then we found Tori's private profile. You can find everything on the internet.
Yeah, if you look for it, you can find it. So I think after, after all the little things, and we're all still going to be learning. It's not like boom, everything is perfect, and we're not gonna have questions or concerns or issues, but we try really hard to communicate. And we're not all perfect at it. We're not all good at it all the time. But I mean, that's one of the joys of family in the first place. So, anyway, we will be back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then we will do every Sunday. Tomorrow, if you guys have something that's specific that you want to talk about, great. I'm going to make sure we have that letter so we can read it and go over that and see if it's a little different than what you
my
thought.
letter, because I'm gonna promise you 75% of that stuff I wrote, that's not gonna be up to date. I was like, they gonna read the letter and they're gonna get a whole different person who arrives.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a huge part of it too. Like I just recently read your letter again, but we didn't get your letter either. I never saw it until I looked it up, because we couldn't see anything about you guys until you guys accepted us, and our background and everything was accepted. And then you go in and all we saw was like what your likes are, and like,
well, like that didn't change, but I have a funny story. I just want to tell it. And I'm afraid of underwater animals, and I put in that I didn't like whales. I'm terrified of them. If I see one, I run 5 miles. And I had a other character had a problem, and it was wall. And then
you're afraid of walls.
I was really scared or nervous coming over here because I wrote all that last year. I'm not the person I was last year. I'm really, really different than I was last year. So I was like, oh fuck, that's the person they like. I'm not gonna be that person anymore.
Okay, you can leave now. We don't like you anymore.
Because I'm not that person who wrote that. I really ain't.
We have to look it up later. Like, that's gonna be hilarious.
Okay, so tomorrow's episode will be
to my fans. I'm not that person.
Well, tomorrow's episode is going to be us reviewing who we really are.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's true.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Elvis has left the building. All right. So we will be here again tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and we will see you there. And bring your hats and your happy smiles, and we'll bring letters to share with who we really are. Who really is Emma?
Well, I have to say, I didn't lie in the letter, but
but I didn't necessarily tell the truth either.
Well,
I actually think I kind of lied.
I made myself way more extrovert and open than I actually am.
Same. I made myself really extrovert. I'm not that. I am. I seem to.
It does answer a lot of questions.
No, adult seems to think I'm really outgoing, but I am.
I don't think you're outgoing. I think
back home, people Emma, Emma. She's outgoing. She has all. I'm like, no, I'm not.
You're very.
I'm outgoing when I'm with someone
with
who's
my friends.
I'm comfortable with.
My friends are the extreme of the introverts, and I'm pretty extrovert when I'm with them. So they're like, Lily, shut up. And with my parents and I'm with other people, are like, Lily, you have a voice. You can talk. You know that? Mm-hmm. So it depends. And I was like, I'm extrovert. I love going out. I talk to every person I see on the street.
Lies.
That is all lies.
But it does explain some things, because what your and that goes to what our actual first show is supposed to be. So that'll be what we'll talk about tomorrow, which is expectations versus reality.
Because it's gonna come out.
Yeah, the truth is going to come out. But there is a difference between expectations and reality. And, like I've said, I've had to remind myself that when I'm feeling like it's a personal thing, it's a teenager thing. It's not really necessarily a personal thing. Emma does have resting bitch face.
No, we were talking about it at cheer. So we were studying that. It's Hannah and Claire. By the way, we're just gonna say the name.
We love you guys.
Yeah, they're not gonna say that.
No.
But they were like, Lily was like, I have a resting bitch face, and they just look at each other, and I looked back, and Lily was like, No, you don't.
You have a sad bitch face.
And then I was like, Oh, what kind of bitch face do I have? You have a resting bitch face.
You do.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. Because back home in Denmark, if somebody sees me like walking the street, because you do a lot of walking and I go shopping a lot. I really do. Like I shop every day. If they see me down the streets, nobody's gonna say hi to me because I look like I'm
You
gonna
look
kill
like you're pissed
I'm
off.
a-
You
I'm
look
a-
like you're on a mission to
Bitch.
kill someone.
No, I look like
Do
like
not talk to
someone
me.
just have told me your whole family has died, your house is burned down.
Mhm.
Have a nice day. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
look like.
Lily looks like
Mhm.
somebody just kicked her dog and right across the street into a moving truck at all times. Like that's what she looks like. She's about to cry, and sometimes that's actually true.
I just look mad every day.
And Emma looks like she's pissed off, and I'm always going like, did
Yeah.
I do something?
No, and when we sit next to each other, like she's pissed, I look traumatized, and they were like, "What happened between them?"
Yeah, and so for me, as a total extrovert, I go like, what did I do? Did I do something? Did I piss them off? Did I hurt somebody's feelings? Did I say something? Because I am quite sarcastic, so I'll say something and I'll be like, oh, I think I just hurt Lily's feelings, and I think I just pissed off Emma.
I can look mad. I think it's not that I'm mad. It's just more, and I haven't told when you guys talk politic. I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah,
because I
that's not-
really
that's not-
don't have the same opinion as you guys.
Right.
And if I start saying something, that's
She
not gonna
will-
end
She will
very good.
explode.
So that's why in those cases I'm just sitting and looking like a bitch because I know I'm not gonna say something because
Well,
that's the thing.
But
At
I
camp,
disagree
that's the
with
thing
that.
that.
You should say something
I'm not
because that's how discussions actually come about.
But it's
So
not a
I
discussion
would
with
say
me.
my whole opinion. You guys would send me home right
Yeah.
away.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing.
No,
The things
because
we
I'm
learned
open
at
to hearing
camp
other
was that
people's-
don't talk politic with your host family. Do
Yeah.
not talk politic with
No,
anybody
there is
in
a
the
big no-no.
American.
No, because you know what? I'm interested to hear what you guys think from your perspective, from your countries, and your perspective is embraced in our house. I mean, we might have a different political.
Well, it's not that I
opinion.
don't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
no,
just
we
more-
have had discussions
Yeah.
about it. We have.
It's
And
just more
actually
small
I think
ones.
it's actually not been bad.
No.
You know, I mean, I think we do have definitely different opinions
Mhm.
on certain things, but at the same time, at least for myself, I am open to hearing other people's thoughts as long as they're also willing to just hear out what I have to say, because it doesn't mean I'm right and it doesn't mean you're right. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about people in general across the world. That's part of the problem, is everybody thinks I'm the only one that's right.
Yeah.
And that's not reality. Reality is
Mm-mm.
everybody has a different, and whether or not we're taking too much from media versus our own actual feelings or experiences. I think that's a huge part of the
Yeah.
problem. So anyway, we keep going back and forth,
That's
and
not
we've already
how it
said like
works.
twice now. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Bye-bye.
So bye. We will see
Yeah.
you tomorrow at
Bye,
4
ya.
o'clock. Say goodbye, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
All right. Say goodbye, girls.
Goodbye, girls.
Bye, Emma.
All right. We will see everybody tomorrow at 4 o'clock. All right. We are done. Thank you and have a great night, everybody.
Good night. Sleep well. Rest well.
Auf
I'm going to
Wiedersehen.
sleep.
Wake up.